Welcome to Heroes Graveyard, a high-stakes, lethal Dungeons & Dragons campaign where when the player dies, they're off the show. Who will die this week? Welcome to Heroes Graveyard, 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I'm your evil Dungeon Master. I'm going to be controlling all the monsters, and Koibu is the good Dungeon Master, the storyteller, your traditional Dungeon Master, and he's going to be narrating as well as generally writing the story. We've got a great cast today. Where are we, and what is this, Koibu?
Heroes Graveyard takes place on this island that sort of mysteriously appeared off of the west coast of the Forgotten Realms, right near the Sword Coast, and has been floating towards it ever since. It's about the size of Cholt, so 300 miles by 300 miles-ish. This was originally sort of a ghost town, maybe an abandoned civilization that people discovered just floating around. And as they came to check it out and see what treasures it holds, also found that there might be some monsters here. So people do what they do best. They move into other people's homes, they loot their old stuff, and they find that they need to defeat some monsters if they're going to actually live here, which is what our players are here to do today, defeat the monsters.
Cool. I've got some great players today. Let's go ahead and introduce them all. First of all, we've got Destiny. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your character.
Hey, I'm Destiny. I usually play video games and talk politics on my stream. This is my first time playing D&D. My character is just kind of an edgy wanderer guy. He was kind of raised off of civilization. He survives on his own in the wilderness. Doesn't have very many or any close friends or family or anything. And he just kind of gets by on his own away from everybody else. But deep inside, he's a really good-hearted person.
Oh, all right. AnnaProsser, let's hear about you.
Hi, I'm AnnaProsser Robinson. I work for Twitch and I play Dungeons & Dragons on this channel. If you're watching on D&D every Tuesday and on Misclicks every Tuesday with Dice Camera Action and Misclicks D&D Devotion, as well as doing a whole bunch of other esports and streaming and gaming things. My character is Lapis, who you might recognize from Dungeons & Dragons Stream of Annihilation. She is a cleric in the life domain, and she's all about just kind of like balancing your energy and making sure that your aura is, in order, and just like really cares about making sure that your energy is well taken care of. So she's going to be, prescribing remedies to everyone every chance she gets.
Yeah, speaking of the Stream of Annihilation, that's where Koibu and I kind of masterminded this thing. We hashed it out a bit there, and it's been months since then. Great event where they showcased the Tomb of Annihilation there. Let's hear from Amnesiac next.
Hey, I'm Amnesiac, or Will. I play Hearthstone professionally for Energy Esports, and my character's name is Dench. He is sort of a bloodthirsty, combat-oriented half-orc, but he's also, in his spare time, a traveling flute salesman, but he doesn't do it for the money. He does it for his love of the flute genre and his wanting to spread it more around the world.
Cool. And finally, last but not least, Rachel Seltzer.
Hey guys, I am Rachel, aka SeltzerPlease. I host a lot of esports events, gaming events, stuff, all kinds of whatever video game things. And today, I'm really excited to be doing this this role play. Koibu, I'm really excited that you're DMing. I'm gonna be a warlock, but kind of new to it and a bit of a coward because she didn't really get her warlock powers. She got them from the grandmother that possesses her. So it's a dangerous line she walks there and a high price she pays when she casts her spells. And she's a bit of an idiot and a coward, so bear with her, please.
Fantastic. And we're doing this show live on twitch.tv/DND. Thanks again to Wizards of the Coast for support.
So you find your way through Ruin to the Shamrock Saloon, which is the name of our tavern here. And there's Laura. She's a 50-something-year-old woman, white hair, kind of frazzled a little bit, hanging out behind her head. And she's leaning over the bar, talking to what appears to be like a couple who are very drunk. And she's, talking about how he's not really cleaning out the garden like he was supposed to. But Laura, pops up and sees you and kind of gives you a wave and come on over here, save me from this conversation.
I think I would approach her and try to kind of speed things along and get to the point, be pretty short with her to try to figure out what exactly she needs done.
Well, what would you say to her?
I think I'd go with the clean, do you want to buy a flute segue, and then kind of work from there. I mean, it's a really solid conversation starter. It's very widely applicable, so yeah.
No, thank you. I am in the business of selling things, not buying things so much, but you look like you're carrying a maul, and you look like you got a sword. Maybe you can help me out? Maybe you've seen the board posted in town?
Each week, the heroes get to choose one of the quests on the bulletin board to pursue. This week, they have chosen Laura the Bartender's quest. One of my shipments of ale from Yig has failed to arrive. Either Robert has turned into a scoundrel, or something has gone terribly wrong. I'll pay well for a speedy resolution. Reward, 250 gold pieces.
You guys interested in going and figuring out what happened to that beer?
Yes,
Whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah.
I find that doing things for others just really helps me cleanse my chi, and so I think this is a great thing to do for you, Laura. And I kind of just like, I'm like waving my hand like around her face. Like I'm not touching it, I'm just kind of like feeling her energy.
Well, aren't you special, dear? Robert is my contact up in Yig.
How long has he been doing ale shipments for you? And has he ever had problems before delivering? Is this a first time thing or?
This is the first time it's been problematic. We've been working together for a couple of months now, ever since I've come to the island 3 months ago.
Okay, that's all the questions I have.
Okay.
I think we're well informed.
Excellent. Well, good luck, and I hope to see you shortly. And she gives you a wave.
I look at Johanna and I'm like, so, as we go, I can like teach you a few new calisthenic moves to like really improve the flow of energy through you. It looks like you maybe have some like sticking energy, you know, like right in your armpit kind of.
I don't know where I'm from if it's very appropriate that we comment on each other's energy, but I really appreciate your concern, and I just want to say thanks again for letting me come with you.
Yeah, no problem. It's totally fine. Were you listening to what she said about where to go? Because I totally wasn't.
Yeah, she said something about north and like a right and like a brewer. And it's an island, so I mean, I was just like, we'll find it.
Yeah, totally. That's a solid plan. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a good plan. I think I would find myself hanging out more with Dench. He seems a little bit more along with him than anything else. I also play a pan flute, which I brought with me. I did not purchase it from you, but I think maybe we can talk flutes sometime.
I think I can interest you in not a pan flute, but a normal flute. It's reasonably priced, and I live to share my love of fluting.
Sure, we can talk about it when we get back from this, but I think we should head out to find out where this ale salesman or ale deliverer is. So we should start moving.
All right. You guys set out on the road. Who is the person at the front of the line? Because when you go on a long walk or a hike, you rarely stand side by side the entire time. Often, like you kind of form a single file line eventually. So who's the forefront person?
I don't think I would be leading. I think I'd be like kind of wandering from one side of the road to the other, picking up random like flowers and plants and things, like snipping them and taking bites of them and like rubbing them between my fingers and stuff.
I think I could see Wander and I sort of at the front based off how things have gone.
Cool.
I'm very consciously triangulating, staying in the center of the group.
Well, would either Wander or Dench please make me a survival check, which you can do so by going to your character sheet on Roll20 and just clicking the survival button.
Yeah, Wander, you want to do this, or should I?
Wait, where's the survival button real quick?
It's next to charisma on your skills section, left side of your character sheet, halfway down, 2/3 of the way down.
Okay, hold on.
Survival check. Oh, mine's already checked.
Right, you want to click the text of the survival
Oh, I see. Okay.
to make a roll. Yeah, that will roll your survival skill. Lapis does it. You guys are a little bit busy talking about flutes, apparently. So while you're walking, the two people in the front chatting about flutes and flouting, Lapis, you notice on the side of the road, on the left side of the road, there's like a broken wagon wheel just kind of sitting there awkwardly. Like really awkwardly. Like who just leaves a wagon wheel, like an intact wagon wheel, just like a broken axle on the side of the road?
I think my first instinct before asking anybody to look into it or letting anybody look into it, I would want to look around to make sure that nobody's waiting to ambush us or something. Being a wanderer, I notice that a lot of people will set up traps. Highwaymen and vagabonds will put something alluring out, and then when your attention is drawn, they'll jump you. So I would be kind of looking out to see where somebody could be peeking out from.
Very nice. Why don't you make me a perception check to take a quick look around, scour the area, make sure that this isn't some sort of ambush prepped.
Sure.
Nice. You don't see anything unusual in terms of like monsters or enemies, but you do notice like underneath this bush, there's a cask of ale, like a broken cask of ale. Like one side of it, like the rounded fat section is cracked in and all the ale has spilled out. And it looks like someone just kind of shoved it under a bush and moved on.
And just as a note, I am not perceptive outwardly, but I'm definitely perceptive of people. So when he notices something and does what he does, I notice him noticing it, and I'm also looking in the same direction and focused.
Yeah, so you'll all see this wagon wheel on the side and this broken cask of ale.
I'd probably start to sort of think that maybe there was some sort of attack on a wagon carrying the ale, if I had to make some basic conjectures from what we know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be pretty strange that somebody would attack the alesman, the delivery man, but they would leave the ale. Maybe is it possible to peek into the back to see if most of the ale was stolen? And
Well, yeah, the wagon itself is gone. There's just one wheel and this one barrel. In fact, if you look around, you notice that there are like wagon ruts kind of leading off the road a little bit.
Okay.
How would you take a wagon away if it lost a wheel?
That's a good question.
That'd be tough.
Did it roll
That's
off?
actually the question I wanted to ask out loud. So let me ask, where's the rest of the wagon? How do you move a wagon without a wheel?
Is there like a cliff or something, or a forest that it could have rolled off into or something around us? Or
It's more or less an open plain, what was probably like grazing land or farmland once upon a time. The direction these tracks lead kind of head just out towards the west.
But nowhere really to hide anything, or nowhere that like wagon
there's an occasional tree or an occasional shrub or maybe even a hedge, but there's definitely no wagon anywhere nearby. Something's missing.
Does the cask of ale have any identifying marks on it?
It does. It says Bobby the Brewer labeled right across the front of it.
From my investigation, I can conclude with 90% certainty that Bob the Brewer was the brewer who was attacked here.
is it possible to investigate the wheel, maybe to see if there's any kind of identifying marks for how it was destroyed or how it was removed from the wagon? Is there any kind of telling signs, or burn marks?
Definitely. It looks snapped. Like it's pretty classically like it hit a rock or it hit something or there was some sort of impact and it was just snapped off of the axle.
But it doesn't look like it was the byproduct of a struggle, more so than just an accident.
I don't know how you could tell those two apart. If you can tell me how you would discern that, I can give you an answer.
I guess I wouldn't be with the wheel, but maybe right around the wheel, like indications of a struggle, maybe more flurried footprints or like marks in the road rather than just the standard imprints from wheels.
Sure. You start digging around a little bit and just a little bit off the road, a little bit down the ways, there is a trench, like the trench you'd have on the side of the road to collect water. And there is a rotting corpse in the trench. By your expert opinion, it's a few days old.
I start waving some shrubs in a cleansing motion around the space to ward off that energy.
You feel it's been warded off.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I think once she finishes, would probably start to drag the corpse out of the water to try to see what happened.
Yeah, I'd want to.
Before you drag the corpse, can I? I'm actually really freaked out by the corpse. Can I see? Is there anything around it, or can I do a perception check of like traps or poisons or grossness on the corpse?
If you'd like to look for traps and that sort of thing, it would be a perception check, I believe. Yeah, let's go with perception.
Ooh.
You are pretty confident that there are no traps around this corpse. It's just kind of like face down in the water. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'll go up and like just poke it to indicate that there's nothing around it and it's safe.
As you drag, as Wander drags the body out, you notice that there's like an impact mark on the front of the skull, like a sling or a rock smacked it right there and just cracked in the skull. There's also like a couple of stab wounds, but they look post-mortem. Like they're not that deep, and there's no like blood soaked through on the clothes near those stab wounds.
Do we recognize the body at all?
It is a woman. It's definitely not Bobby the Brewer, but it's somebody.
Do we know about any relationships Bobby the Brewer may have had?
No idea.
We didn't ask the lady anything, so.
What are you guys going to do about this?
How dead is the body?
He said 2 to 3 days, I think.
Pretty dead.
Yeah.
Is there any indication on the corpse? Like, could we search it for, I don't know, do they have ID wherever we are? Or...
Grab our social security.
Paper.
It looks like he left his wallet at home, or the wallet has been taken. Any sort of identification papers are gone with that person's cash.
And they don't have any markings, tattoos, any distinguishing facial features.
There's an anchor tattoo on like the inside of the left knee, but it looks kind of, but
Like definitely a tattoo, like not like a birthmark. Like
definitely it's in like the shape of an anchor, and there's like a little bit of a dolphin going around one side of it.
yeah.
And we've checked, are we able to check the pockets or purses or satchels or anything? They're not carrying any type of notes or any type of information that would be relevant.
Looks like anything that this person might have carried has been pilfered.
And there's nothing in the water from where we found them of a similar note, like identification or anything, right?
Good for checking, but no, just some tadpoles.
Well,
So what do you do?
I mean, we have enough to tell Laura what happened, which is that the convoy got attacked, but we probably should find out where Bob ended up.
Yeah, I feel like she asked for a resolution and we really don't have one. We still don't know where Bob is or if Bob has been hurt. We don't even know where the ale is. Somebody could have stolen it. Something horrible could have happened and maybe it was just destroyed. I don't know if she'll be satisfied with this answer. I don't know how long our trip has taken so far. We could return to her with a description of this person and ask her if she knows who this is. Maybe there's something we forgot to ask her.
You're like 4 hours out of town. You could definitely go back, but that would like be the day.
Okay. I feel like we definitely don't have a satisfactory answer. Like we have no idea of why any of this may have happened, and we know I have no idea of the conclusion of it. Like we don't know where the ale is. Yeah, I feel like we don't. I don't think we could go back to this reasonably.
You said there was like a wagon tracks that sort of trailed off for a little bit. Can we like follow those clues around them?
You can definitely follow the tracks.
Okay, how far do they go, or do they sort of disappear and trail off? Because it's
You'll have to follow them to see how far they go.
All right, let's follow the
I
tracks. Let's get
suggest
involved.
following the tracks.
All right. The tracks go for miles, for a few miles, until they meet up with a road or a trail, really, and kind of swing around to the right and start heading off roughly northward again. This road goes for another half mile or so until you come to a gorge with a bridge that is has a few people standing around it.
When I see a group of people, I feel pretty safe. I'm going to run right up to them and ask out loud what happened. It's probably not going to be a good decision going forward, but it's what I do.
Can we do like a check to hold you back from doing that?
You're welcome.
I wouldn't be keen on letting anybody wander past, especially because we're following what looks to be a vandalized wagon. So I would assume that anybody we could run into could be involved in that. I would be very worried about that.
Okay.
It's
You wanna
good for her
clothesline
to
me?
socialize. She needs to, create connections with other souls. It's good for her.
Yeah, but you can't have any energy if you're dead. Even so, I think it's okay to have some bad energy rather than no energy.
Good point.
Yeah, as soon as Wander tries to stop me, I immediately stop.
They all seem to be armed with various weapons. One of them is wearing some actual armor. The others have like leather scraps on them of various kinds. The lead one in the middle with the nicer armor and the bigger weapon is a woman. The others are mixed gender standing around, and they seem to be having a conversation, but like have spotted you, but are leaving you be. The tracks definitely go this way, though.
What do you feel like on this stench? What would you do here?
I mean, I'd probably just jump in and try and figure out. I mean, I think I want to engage.
Are there weapons drawn right now, or are they?
No. Their weapons are
Dent.
this size.
Could we
No.
approach maybe in like a concealed weapon manner? So like, if things got hairy, we could have the jump on them.
How
Is
do
there
you
any
conceal a
invisible
mole?
crossing?
How big is the mall? I have no concept of this.
Dent.
Think like a
Dent.
sledgehammer.
I
You
mean,
know
I
what
could like
they-
hold it behind my back. I don't know.
No, Dent, you know what they say? Music is the universal language. I think you should play your flute for them.
Well, Wander has his pan flute. We could get a little group going.
Duet
impromptu.
going?
I will
Yeah.
I'll dance with you. I'll dance.
Okay, this could be a good way to approach. We definitely wouldn't seem threatening.
We're just a group of traveling musicians.
All right. You guys,
I'm going with the group. I'm a follower.
you guys approach the people at the bridge. I'm just gonna move your characters forward. Well,
Ah, well met. She looks you up and down. That's a very nice dance you're performing.
Doesn't it just make you feel so centered? We'd
You wanna
just
buy a
like to
flute?
pass by on the bridge.
Certainly, that will just be 1 gold apiece. A small amount, I'm sure, in order to visit our fine establishment, the casino, right across the bridge.
Do we have gold? I'm looking.
you should all have some starting cash.
Yeah, we do from our, unless you literally spend every dollar.
I mean, what is the meaning of money? I like take out a gold piece and I'm ready to pay her, but I look at the rest of the party to see if they're going to.
If you pull out a piece, then I pretty much copy your action and pull out one as well.
Yeah, this doesn't seem worth fighting over. I'd definitely just give them the gold.
I don't know if I can do a perception check here, but are there other people that are very close by that could join this if something happened?
Well, there's definitely the 4 of them here. And if you look across the bridge, let's see how far this is. Maybe like 120 feet away from you, there is a tent. And you do see some people standing around, like their backs to you, looking inward toward the tent.
And we're confident that the tracks rolled across this bridge here?
Definitely, the wagon tracks were headed this direction, and you haven't seen them go off on either side yet.
Let's come back and talk about this for a second before we pay the toll, just to make sure that we really want to cross this bridge and go and play our music. Can we do that? Is that okay, guys? Can we talk for a second?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so only talking to between the 4 of us. I don't feel comfortable bringing up anything about the wagon to them. If they think that we're here to investigate the wagon, it's possible that they'll try to kill us. I don't feel comfortable fighting anybody on this bridge because we don't know how many more they can bring, and they might bring more before the conflict is resolved. I think that we can... the toll kind of sucks, but the reward from the bar is so much greater than this toll here. It's only 4 gold between the 4 of us. We don't have to mention the wagon. We can just play the flutes, move on through the bridge. They don't think we're looking for anything, and we could just kind of move on through that. That would be my idea here. I would be very hesitant to tell them that we're investigating anything that they might be involved in.
So
I
you kind
just
of
don't-
like
What's
Yeah,
on the
go
other side? Like, are we just walking into more of them? Are there a lot more bridges and more tolls? Are we going to get stuck into some sort of like Jersey toll ring? Like,
I pet her face and I try to calm her down. Like, it's okay. Look, we can't predict the future. We just have to keep moving forward, you know?
But you want to kind of maintain the facade of like, yeah, we just play music and we're not armed or anything.
Well, yeah, because if these guys were involved in the wagon up, I don't want to let, or the wagon screw up. I'm sorry. I don't want to let them know that we're investigating it.
Yeah,
because
sure,
we have the
yeah.
opportunity to set
so
up a trap to
maintaining the
call.
guise of musicians, can we ask them what's on the other side and if there are towns to play at and things?
Yeah, if we want to, as long as they don't think we're investigating any kind of wagon attack. Yeah, sure.
I don't think it's that sketchy to ask if there are towns to play at, given that we're playing music and dancing. Like, I think we can kind of pull off the wandering music tribe thing.
Are there any other questions we'd want to ask them too before we cross the bridge?
I think the dumber we appear and the more clueless we appear, the better. And yeah, we're doing so pretty good at that so far. So
They did say there was a casino on the other side too.
And no one else is walking past us or also taking this bridge or anything, right?
you guys are okay, all okay with parting with a single gold?
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
that's good.
I think we do
Lapis
that.
does
then.
kind of a cool trick and she like tries to flip her gold piece to the woman in a cool way, like a little spin and flick.
Sure.
Did it work out?
Does it fall in the gorge?
Should I roll it a dex check, Neil?
Please do. You need at least a 10. Beautiful. She
It's
catches it
gorgeous.
gracefully.
I'm a
wink
giant
at her.
copycat, so I am also going to attempt.
Give me another Give me a dexterity check as well.
Come on, open up character sheet. Dex. I'm doing it, I swear. Here it comes. Get ready. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
No.
Oh!
She reaches out and tries to catch it anyways. Let's see. Even though your flip is wide, she goes ahead and like grabs for it and manages to catch herself very gracefully.
Super athletic.
Can I do like a charisma check to try and sell them a flute? Will that work?
Let's not make it more than just a charisma check. How do you go about selling them a flute?
I improvise.
Tell me. Just sell me your flute.
Oh, okay. Well, it's taken from the best wood that you can find when traveling around the island that we're on, and then it's handcrafted by the fire at night, because then I hear the music from the animals and the bugs, and it comes alive, and then it comes alive into the flute, and that's why I have the best flutes.
Lapis is very impressed by this tangentially. She's like really into your flutes now.
I would buy that flute.
You know, she says, I was going to charge you just a little bit more since, I just remembered we have all these bridge repairs, since there's a certain group that have been causing us trouble up north. But if you hand us a flute, we'll call it square.
All right, yeah, you can definitely have a flute.
Okay, very well.
Pleasure doing
Thank
this.
you.
Does that cover all of our
Wow.
fares or just his?
What? No, just one flute will do.
Will that
Yeah,
cover everybody, or just?
Oh,
just
no, one flute and, of course, the 4 gold.
Wait,
Wait, hold on.
I
think he's
mean,
saying he was going to charge us more. But
yes, I
because
was
they
going to
gave us-
charge you more. I was thinking maybe 5 gold apiece, but, the flute, that does sound lovely.
you
I'll
said
take
one gold
15.
apiece.
I did,
I think
but
the 1 gold is good. I don't think we should argue with the bridge people. We don't
Yeah,
want
no, I
to
don't-
trouble for these guys.
I think we'll take the hit on the flute. I think we'll live. I can make those.
That's really kind of you to just like spread your love of music through flutes and give it away basically for free, because some people are liars. And I look at the bridge, the person at the edge of the bridge.
I'm not a liar. I simply have a bad memory.
As I hand the lady on the bridge a piece of gold, can I do a perception check or whatever to see if they smell of alcohol or anything, if they seem drunk or anything like that?
Oh, definitely. That's very clever. Go ahead. Make me a perception check. Or an investigation check, I think is the appropriate one in that one.
Ugh. Okay.
Oh. Not only can you tell that she does smell of alcohol, you can tell that she smells of rum, specifically, not ale.
That 21st crit of the campaign.
Wow. All right. Well, that's cool. I would pay the gold and I would keep moving us along before somebody says something to get us into more trouble than we need to be in.
Somebody.
Somebody. Any of the 4 of us could do it.
Very well. Enjoy your stay over on the other side. By the way, my name is Elisa. I've got a friend here, but fortunately, we didn't have to show him to you. So, go ahead.
Do we want to talk to Elisa anymore? Should we maybe ask her if she knows
No, I
anything
think we're good
cool
to
going
move on.
on the
I
side?
really want to go.
I think we're good to move on. I really want to move on.
Yeah,
I really want to see this casino.
Yes.
I really want to see the casino. I'm actually really excited to go dance and play flute.
Okay, guys, let's go.
I'm excited to not die to Elisa, so I would like to leave.
I just think Elisa has messed up energy, so I'm done.
All
I'm sure
right.
her energy is fine for who she is. So
You guys move across the bridge and make your way towards the casino. It's not very big. It's just a couple of tents thrown together to provide some shelter from the sun. There is a bar in the back that's like a couple of old wine barrels with a board placed across it and some glasses and some, glasses of alcohol sitting on it. In the middle is what looks to be like a gnome who's been chained to a table and forced to play card games against people, but the place is swamped. There's like 30 people here, and there's a line out the door to play some games.
before we go in, when I paid the bridge person, it was very obvious that this guy was or this lady was very drunk on the very rum that we're probably searching for.
You were searching for ale specifically.
For ale. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and you could smell the rum on her, but she wasn't like trash. Like she's been drinking, day drinking, but not,
Sure. We are. Our goal is to investigate what happened to this wagon. If we could get any type of visual confirmation of like this ale laying anywhere, I think that should be our number one goal as we enter this casino. Is to just try to find some evidence of that, so that we could leave and go back and report our findings.
Wait, Wander, what about the tracks?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Could we maybe see like did we notice if the tracks picked back up post bridge, or were we paying attention to that?
Well-traveled trail in this section of the area. You notice, especially between like the casino and the bridge. Ooh, that did not draw well. Especially between the casino and the bridge, there's a lot of foot traffic in this area out here. So maybe if you expand your search beyond that, you might be able to see if there are tracks around.
I'm okay with searching for tracks first to see if the wagon could have wandered off into any other direction first.
I like that. It's safe. I think it's pretty low risk to try and look around for tracks rather than trying to engage in the casino where we don't really know what's going on yet.
Do we have to conceal the fact that we're looking for something, though? Like, do we have to appear really casual, or is no one around really watching us?
Since there's so much foot traffic, I think we can just wander around playing our instruments while investigating at the same time. Shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Do people give us money? Do people flip us coins because we're doing so well at playing music?
Well, I would like a musical check from you guys if you want to see if you're that skilled.
All of us? Or just the two that are playing the music?
Well, the two that are playing music need to make music checks. Those of you that are dancing need to make me some dancing checks, all right?
Well, would that be a performance?
Yes, these are all performance checks of various kinds.
Oh, dang. Even
While you guys are
-1?
rolling those dice, Wander, go ahead and take an inspiration for having your eyes on the prize of looking for the rum. And Dench, you can take an inspiration for your flute bargaining.
Nice.
I'm sorry, real fast. Do you keep track of our gold, or are we supposed to augment that on the
You
sheet?
track it yourself, please, and thank you.
Okay.
So it looks like the flute performers are fantastic. Lapis is a great dancer. And Johanna, what's going on?
I'm sort of doing like my country dancing, which is a lot of like arrhythmic clapping with an odd like hop, and I'm actually mostly just clearing a space around me. People are crossing the other side of the street. Farm animals are just moving along, and it's not really working out well for me now.
Yeah, it's maybe like a little bit too foreign.
Too much? Is it too much?
It's a little too foreign and exotic for them. They're used to like something a little bit more typical, you know.
I'm like doing lyrical, and she's like in a death mosh pit with herself, like just.
I gotta get the gank going, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from way up north, okay.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, you guys do search the area, and you've all rolled really well on your investigation checks so far. So not a problem. You notice that right up here to the north, right where there are these weird spires that stick out of the ground, and what looks to be felled trees that have just been like toppled back and forth, there appear to be a relatively fresh set of wagon ruts that go under these felled trees, like right through here. Maybe they went here and then people put trees on top, or maybe these trees are here to block something and they were moved to allow a wagon to go through. But there's definitely some sort of wagon ruts going north.
I keep dancing along the wagon ruts. I'm just like totally in my own world, dancing to the music, just tiptoeing along, following the wagon ruts.
I kind of this is pinging something in the back of my little dumb brain, where I have definitely seen trees, I think maybe not exactly like this before up north, where I don't know, in the north we had a lot of problems with giants. So back in my hometown, this would mean that maybe something came stomping through here, this fresh area. So can I just surreptitiously look around for maybe any sort of footprints or any markings for like a giant beast?
Yes, you can. Why don't you give me a survival check for looking for tracks? I think that's how it goes.
Survival?
Yeah. I think that's the tracking skill in 5e. Ooh, that's really good. Yes, there are indeed some heavy oxen tracks that move forward in between the wagon ruts.
Okay, so it's definitely lots of small feet and not big feet. I'm gonna breathe a huge sigh of relief because I've heard some shit about giants. I'm under siege right now, in fact.
We can go into the casino and we can look for any signs of the ale. If we find it, we can leave immediately. I don't think we need to investigate further. Or we could go north and look for the wagon. It's possible that if we go into the casino, we find nothing, in which case we just waste all of our time. And if we head north now, it's possible that we run into more than we can handle. So I guess it's a risk versus reward trade-off. Dench or the other two. What do you guys think we should do?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I just think it's cool that you feel like you don't have to label me with a name, that you can just like call me a fellow human, you know? Like that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I just want to help out Laura, so whatever's going to do that best and fastest, that's what I want to do.
Neil, can you tell us how much of a time commitment it would be to go back to the casino and investigate there?
Depends on the depth of your investigation at the casino. If you're just like looking around for beer barrels, that's probably like a 5-minute job tops. Wouldn't even require a check.
Okay. Wander, everybody, what do you guys think about that? That seems like a pretty clean hedge. And then if we don't find anything, maybe we commit to going up north.
Yeah, we could at least peek in and take a look. There's no.
I think that's like pretty low risk, high reward, or at least medium reward.
I've never seen a casino before. That sounds awesome.
How old are you?
For character or me? Oh.
Well, is there any rule for how old you have to be to go into a casino in this world?
No.
I'm 21.
Just like Twitch party. Yeah.
All right. If no one has any objections, then I think we head in and investigate then and do a little brief investigation.
Sure. This gnome seems to be pretty tired, but he's dealing cards, and there's 4 people playing with him. It looks like right now they're playing blackjack. The back of the bar has these 2 wine casks, but they're very clearly wine casks, so they've got grapes emblazoned across them, and then these transparent crystal flasks thingies filled with. Could be rum, could be whiskey, could be brandy, some sort of brownish fluid that they are pouring into, tumblers. There aren't any other large barrels to speak of anywhere around here, and there's no wagon to speak of either. But you are offered a drink at the low price of 5 silver per drink, which you would know is outrageous. That's 5 times the going price in town.
Would any of us be able to drink? This is the brown stuff?
The brown stuff.
Would any of us be able to drink it and identify it as the ale?
Definitely. Yeah. Maybe not like this specific ale, but you did know that there's only one ale brewer in town, so you could tell if it's ale or something else.
I mean, I think one of us should probably have a drink.
All right.
I nominate Lapis or Laura to do it.
I mean, okay, sure. I sniff it and then I take a sip.
First off, pay up 5 silver, please, and thank you.
I'm not paying for it. He told me to drink it. I assume he paid for it.
If no one's paid, no one's getting a drink.
I'll pay for it. This is ridiculous.
That's so sweet of you to buy me a drink.
All right.
Wander, you get an inspiration for getting the drink to someone else. Unfortunately, you can only hold 1 inspiration.
All right. It is whiskey. No, I'm sorry. It's rum. It's rum.
Wait, can I give my inspiration to someone else then?
No. You can use it to gain advantage on any one roll that you want whenever you want.
Oh, okay.
Can I have a sip too?
Sure, totes.
What does it taste like to you guys? Sure.
It tastes like broken dreams.
Okay. If you had to describe the taste of ale,
yeah, this isn't getting me anywhere.
Tastes like hot sugar.
Oh, it's rum. That's what you're asking. It's rum.
Okay.
I let Johanna keep it, and I wander off toward that chained up gnome.
Well, he's in the middle, and there's like a bunch of people around watching the card game. So you can get kind of close, but you're not going to be able to really interact with him without distracting, because he's the only dealer in the entire casino.
I think I can challenge him.
Challenge him to
cards.
Well, there's a line to play cards that goes out the door.
Yeah, but what if I like skip the line with my charisma or my flute or something?
You could do a persuasion check
at the casino right next to the people with the swords who are running the bridge and paying people to get here.
Well, real low key though, so they don't know. Kind of just.
It's a charisma. Maybe he can talk his way to the front of the line. It happens
Yeah, that's
all the
what I'm
time.
thinking.
All right.
Can I use my inspiration on charisma here
to give yourself advantage on your charisma check? Sure, but before you make the roll, tell me what it is that you do to skip the line. Like, how do you cut in line at a casino?
It's a great question, Neil.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I'll let you make a roll if you can give me a plausible way of doing it.
Okay.
Neil, I swear I've been in party lines with you where we have done this. It's not that weird.
Can I give a suggestion to Dench?
Oh, please do.
So, obviously we have a very special individual with us. Maybe we don't know how much time she has left, and maybe before she leaves this dear planet, she wants to play a game of cards. We have to get her back home pretty soon because it's almost time for her treatment. Maybe you can use that as an excuse to get to the front of the line to play cards.
Yeah, no, I'm down. That sounds great. So,
you'll watch to remember that
character's name. I can't remember.
That's why I didn't say her name. I'm sorry.
I'm taking my second sip of the whiskey right now, and I'm not used to whiskey, so I definitely like when he says that, like kind of splutter it everywhere, like, and I obviously look like a helpless fool. So I don't know. Do people around believe me? I've got high charisma and.
Well, Dench, give me that
persuasion.
That charisma roll with advantage. So you just roll it, and then we take the higher of the two numbers that pop up on stream or in the chat. Not so great. You actually get some curses, and someone physically like puts a hand on you, gives you a bit of a shove, and says, "Back off, bub. I'm next. I don't care how short her time is."
All right. Well, we should get out of here then before we cause a scene.
Why is that gnome? I start asking people around. Why is he chained? Why is he chained to the table?
Guess he's working off a debt or something. I don't know.
Why are you chained to the table?
I think it's just the way the world works, and I don't think it's our problem. I think we've wasted enough time here, and we should move on before it gets too late.
The bartender starts walking over. Excuse me, ma'am. Are you causing a problem here?
I'm just curious why you've chained that gnome to the table and forced him to do labor.
Oh, so he doesn't run away.
Why would he not be allowed to exercise his personal freedoms that way?
Oh, because we've enslaved him to play card games.
Why?
Same.
We needed a card dealer, and he's really good at it, and he didn't want to do it voluntarily. And we're stronger and bigger than he is, so we took advantage of his size and chained him to the table, and now he plays games.
That seems super messed up.
I would really like to interject here before this escalates. I really think we should leave. We can come back and we can talk to him later. I will make that as a promise to you. We'll come back and we will look into our friendly little gnome later. But for now, I think we should remember our original task.
I think Wander should get Lapis out of there while I distract him talking about flutes, and then we should dip.
If he's like dragging me out, I'm like, how do you have the moral flexibility to think something like this is okay? And I'm like crying, like, no.
All right, you guys get dragged or drag your friends out of here, and you leave the casino, maybe unhappily.
I tug on Wander's arm as soon as we're outside, and I go, "Am I sick?"
I think you'll be fine. We just need to walk for a little bit. You'll be okay, I think. Have some water.
What do you feel like?
I don't know. I felt fine, and then he told everybody that I was dying. And I mean, things have happened before where maybe I'm dying. So I just thought I'd ask him, am I dying?
Did you drink all the rum?
No.
Then you're probably fine.
Most of the rum.
I mean, you might be dying, but like, aren't we all dying just slowly every day of our lives?
Johanna drank some of it. Wait, Johanna drank some of it, right?
She drank all of it.
Oh, okay. Lapis drank some of it. I keep mixing.
I drank
I'm so sorry.
one sip
Yeah.
and then I gave it to Johanna.
Lapis had some of it. She's fine. So you're not poisoned or anything. I think you'll be okay. Just a little tipsy. I think we can walk it off. We'll be okay.
I boop her finger.
My grandma says you're a dick.
Whoa! Why did your grandma say that about him? That's so mean.
I don't know.
How
And I
did she
kind
know
of just
him?
conk out.
All right, we're following the the wagon tracks, right?
Yes, you are. So you continue to follow the tracks up and on to our next page. As you follow these tracks further north, you see ahead of you something maybe not so friendly and cuddly as that enslaved gnome back at the gambling hall. There is before you, well, I'll let you decide what you think you see. You should be able to see the screen now, I hope. To the north of you, there's something not particularly cuddly looking. Looks like some sort of slobbering giant dog with something or two things riding on top of it.
Are those two?
I insta-barf, but then I started
I do like a energy cleansing chakra blessing on you.
If it looks to be like an animal type thing, it's pretty clear. It's definitely not a person, right? We can definitely see that.
It's definitely some sort of like beast of burden or some sort of riding beast ridden by two smallish, floppy-eared, green-skinned things. They sort of look like goblins.
It's literally two goblins sitting on top of each other on the back of a giant monster dog.
Oh.
Does the monster dog, does it look like a friendly animal, or does it look like something that can snap and tear your head off? Are we able to perceive that?
I
think
hear
it
the
definitely
chittering
looks
of
like
the things over on the side there. They're talking with amongst themselves, and then like you see one of them point at the you guys. The one on
wave
the
happily
back
at
is
them.
drawing a short bow.
Oh, so
He's
they're getting
drawing
ready
a
to
short
fight.
bow?
He's drawing a short bow.
Can I stumble to the right if I see
You can
him
move your
draw?
character, yeah. Just
Looks like they were just wandering around this
Blah,
area.
blah, 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 blah.
Can I shout out and try to communicate with them?
sure. What would you like to shout out to them?
Oh, that's a good question.
Please don't shoot. We just want to talk.
I hear that's remarkably effective with goblins.
How about just a standard who goes there?
Ah.
And I speak goblin, so I guess I would say this in goblin as well.
Yeah, they're only 100 feet away from you. That's definitely shouting distance.
Okay.
You call out to them, and they...
In Goblin, all right. Who goes there for you?
Do we understand goblin?
My character speaks goblin.
Let's
Oh.
go with only
Convenient.
Wander speaks goblin, so we have to all communicate vicariously through him.
Okay, he's asking who we are. Just going to tell him that we're a group of wandering musicians looking for more audiences to play for. I would
Should
tell
I
him.
play my flute?
Yeah, play a little in the background while we're doing it.
Okay, I'm getting a nice little tune, dropping a beat.
Sure, and
in
then to the
Goblin,
goblins. We're
he
just passing through,
responds-
looking for people to play with.
In Goblin, he responds, "Well, my name's Hazzy, and we don't need musicians over here. I think you've taken a wrong turn. You go back to... you probably want to play in that casino instead."
Do we all do perception checks? Can I still do one?
Sure.
What are we perception checking for?
Just any other like movement or potential like bodies around, like if this is a concave trap or a just we're encountering like lonely people. I'm playing with it.
So you look around the place with a 15 on your perception check. You definitely see these two goblins riding on what appears to be some sort of large wolf or large dog sort of thing. Well beyond them, maybe another 100 feet or so, there seems to be a cave back there. The wagon ruts that you have been following are still underfoot and head in the direction of that cave.
Do we think we could win if we fought them?
That is not a thing I can tell you. That is like part of the core mechanics of the game.
Oh, if we
I
fight,
mean,
we'll
he
win.
could roll an insight check,
Love it. I can do a what check?
right? Like he could see insight to see how he would measure up against goblins.
Sure. I mean, I can't. That's not going to guarantee the results of anything.
No.
Yeah. I'll do an insight check. Can I do
All
that?
right, give me an insight check.
All right. Did I win?
Ooh.
Nice. Did I win?
You know, toe to toe, you could take a goblin any day of the week. There's 4 of you. There's 2 of them, and they're mounted, so it's a little bit different. But you figure toe to toe, you can take any goblin any day. You could probably even take that big ass creature they're riding on.
What are they wearing? Are we able to perceive that? Are they wearing? Does it look like they have heavy armor on, or
No, they're wearing sort of leather armor. Or
Okay.
like thick leather hides. Maybe not like nice armor, but like leather hides that they've stitched over to themselves. They have short bows, and I believe they have short swords on them as well.
So they're kind of ready to fight. Is the
They
idea?
are-
they're goblins, right? They're always ready to fight.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they can
scimitars
be
on them.
goblins
Do you think there's a chance they'd make a deal before we had to fight them?
I don't think we can negotiate with goblins. They don't look
The
like
other
they're ready to
goblin
I think that's
in the
great.
front also draws a short bow, given that you haven't left yet, and they're just
I look-
aiming it at you guys.
I look at Dench, who looks like he's readying to jump into the fight. He's like sizing them up, and I'm like, "Are you going to fight them?"
Are you going to fight them? I like that.
It's not like a team effort. It's really.
No, that's why I ask. And I set my hands on him, and I'm like, "Just let me cleanse your aura real quick before you do." And I cast guidance, which
Ooh, sneaky.
means that Dench can now roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of your choice from whenever you do until the spell ends, until I stop concentrating.
Okay,
Yep.
this is a mechanics question. Are
Mhm.
we able to leave and come back on a sneak to go for a surprise attack if we choose to do that? Is that possible?
You can definitely try to walk away. I cannot promise that
Oh,
they will
understood.
be so happy about you leaving, but that's definitely a thing that you can try to do.
As you cast your spell, that's enough for the goblins to let loose their arrows at Lapis, the caster. I'm going to roll, and then we're going to go on break right after you see the results.
Great.
They have disadvantage as it is a little bit far away for them.
Aha! Can't touch
So that's
me. I
a
dodged.
10 on the second one.
Looks like those are both misses against Lapis's AC of 15.
Lapis is like, whoo, whoo, and they just go, choo, choo.
Why don't
All
we
right,
take
the
a break?
opening volley has
and
been
then-
fired, but the heroes dodge. We'll be right back.